Hi, it's the M.L.M for the Soul channel, and I do have a new topic for today. Before I begin, I just would like to say, may the words and expressions of my mouth and the thoughts and meditations of my heart find favor and acceptance before you, Hashem. And some people I thank who inspired me. I hope they can inspire you as well. And I will have links below this video to their sites. They are Rabbi Shalom Arush, Rabbi Lazer Brody, Rabbi Yosef Mizrahi, Rabbi Eli Mansour, Rabbi Elon Anava, Rabbi Yuval Ovadia, Rabbi Daniel Asser, Nisan Baruch Black, David Sachs, Rabbi Michael Skobach, Jews for Judaism, Rabbi David Usher, and Rabbi Yaron Ruvain. As well, if you've never checked out this channel before, I will have a link right below this video to my first video, which explains what M.L.M for the Soul means, what it stands for, and what I'm doing. So, last video I talked about what you're allowed to, about talking on Shabbat. So this one is also from Rabbi Eli Mansour. This one is entitled, What Types of Reading Are Permitted on Shabbat? And I think that's important to know as well. So the Shulchan Aruch, 307:17, brings down two opinions regarding what is permissible to read on Shabbat. The first, Stam, unattributed opinions, hold that only Torah content may be read on Shabbat. This is the opinion of the Rambam in his commentary to the Mishnah. The second opinion, brought as a Yesh Omrim, some say, permits reading scientific content such as medicine. This is the opinion of the Rashba and the Ramban. In general, Maran himself, which they're talking about Rabbi Ovadia Yosef Zatzal, himself always holds, like the first, unattributed opinion that he brings. Therefore, it is prohibited to read books relating to science on Shabbat. Of course, a doctor may refer to a medical book to aid him in treating a patient on Shabbat. Chacham Ovadia in Hilchot Olon 3, page 172, permits a medical student to study medical textbooks on Shabbat to prepare for exam. Chacham David in his Halacha Berura 307, page 328, struggles to reconcile Chacham Ovadia's opinion with the ruling of Maran that prohibits the reading of science books. And I might be wrong on who Maran is, because they said Ovadia, so it might be different. I don't know. So I apologize if I'm not getting it right. It doesn't say it here. So moreover, preparing for an exam would seem to be problematic on Shabbat because it is preparing for the weekday. He answers that Chacham Ovadia was relying on the second opinion of the Rashba and the Rambam in cases of pressing need. And I think he actually meant the Ramban, and he wrote the Rambam here. The Rambam was the first one. So he argues that the study is not considered preparation because he's also enjoying and benefiting from the knowledge gained while reading it. He compares it to sleeping on Shabbat in order to be awake on Motzei Shabbos, which is permitted, as long as one does not explicitly state his intention. Maran clearly prohibits reading novels and other totally mundane books. That's obvious. So Maran permits looking at pictures on Shabbat, but prohibits reading the captions describing them. This is especially relevant to looking at pictures in the newspaper. Even the reading of cookbooks falls under the category of science and knowledge and is prohibited. I never knew that, but not that I read cookbooks. Thus, Shabbat is a day of detox, not only from our digital devices, but also from any mundane content that distracts a Jew from the primary purpose of Torah. Before a person reads something on Shabbat, he must first ask himself whether it is permitted to be read even on a weekday. So meaning, does it have relevance, or is it important, and does it have any benefit for you anyway? If it passes that test, he must determine whether it is permitted to be read on the Holy Shabbat. A kosher newspaper without Lashon Hara and other pitfalls is permitted to be read during the week, but it will be difficult to permit reading it on Shabbat. Certainly, reading advertisements in kosher newspapers is a violation of Shabbat. So there you go. So even he says here that even a newspaper shouldn't be read because it still draws you into other things. So it's better, how I look at it, it's better to just, what I do. What do I read on Shabbat? I read, the Chumash, the Parsha. I say Tehillim. I say Perek Shira. Now, when it's coming up on after Pesach, I'll start Pirkei Avos, and I have other Torah books that I read. Many different. You could read the Shulchan Aruch. There's endless things that you could study that are Torah related that wouldn't fall into any conflict. That it's not okay to read, and it's not appropriate for Shabbat. So I think this is an important topic, and I hope you were able to go along with it. I know some of it was a little confusing at times. I was also, because I'm just reading this, and but as far as who Maran is, I don't know if that's Ovadia, because then he said something else. So that's okay. It's somebody. So anyway, and I hope and pray that we will all do what's right in the eyes of Hashem, quote unquote, eyes of Hashem, and that we will all merit to live and see the coming of Mashiach speedily in our days and the rebuilding of our final and everlasting Beis HaMikdash. Amen, and thanks for watching.